process of chemical reaction can make the surrounding hot or cold. It can produce temperature or it can absorb temperature. If it produces temperature, you will feel the heat. If it absorbs temperature, you will feel the cold.
Okay.
So when it produces temperature, we call this reaction exothermic reaction, and when it absorbs temperature, we call it endothermic reaction. When heat energy is transferred from the system to the surrounding, as you are part of the surrounding, you will feel the heat. And endothermic is when the heat energy is transferred from the surrounding to the system. As you are surrounding, it will take heat from you. That is why you'll feel cold.
Hmm.
Now look at some examples: exothermic and endothermic process. There are some IGCSE level discussion. Just check all the examples. Super easy. That will make sense. But still, if you have any question, ask me.
Exothermic is like the release of heat.
Release of heat to the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. And endothermic is intake of heat.
Yeah. No. One of the example of exothermic reaction is given: hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide uh, produces sodium chloride and water. The amount of heat it produces is 57 kilojoule per mole. But as it released heat to the atmosphere, that means from its system, this amount of heat is uh, erased or deleted. That is why this negative sign for exothermic reaction. For all exothermic reaction, you will find delta H negative, because
Okay.
that is minus from the system and
Hmm.
plus to the surrounding. So think uh, we think from the end of the system when we write the value of the delta H. Another example of endothermic reaction is given. So this reaction, citric acid with sodium bicarbonate produces sodium citrate, carbon dioxide, and water. Delta H is positive 70 kilojoule per mole. So this thing is counterintuitive, because when we see negative kilojoule per mole, in our mind it hits that okay, heat is energy is negative, maybe it is cold. No,
Hmm.
it is the opposite. Delta H is 70 kilojoule per mole plus 70. It doesn't mean you will receive heat. It means system will receive heat. You will feel cold. Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So we write the value of delta H from the end, thinking from the end of the system. So learning tip: the negative sign indicates that heat energy transferred from the system to the surrounding. Positive sign indicates that heat energy is transferred from the surrounding to the system. Right.